made on Ridgeway Sports Podcast, episode 51. Hunter Keister back with
K-Mac. Let's go.
and we are back, and we are in cold season here in November, Thanksgiving. And I always get a little cold around this time of year, unfortunately. So I'm going through that. But we are here, and
no excuses.
We have one thing to talk about. Yeah, like Kurt said, no excuses. Good way to start out this one because we are here to talk about the game. The only game that matters, the biggest rivalry in all of sports. We are here to talk about the number 3 ranked Michigan Wolverines traveling to Columbus, Ohio for yet another clash with the Ohio State Buckeyes. And they are ranked number 2 in the land. This meeting is 11-0 versus 11-0. First time since 06 since that happened. And just something that I've kind of said all week is just a fairy tale moment for us Michigan fans, especially in the recent years that we had before this success and all the stuff that Harbaugh had to overcome to finally hit the top that he's done. And, you know, before we start even talking about anything, we just got to hats off to Harbaugh for making it there.
Yeah, considering where we were 2 years ago during the COVID year to where we are now, it's, you know, a lot of us, honestly, for the longest time, after losing so many of those games, a lot of people wanted him fired.
Right.
Us included. I remember year after year,
sure.
After getting our butts just handed to us, we were like, he's got to go.
Right.
We were stuck in that traditional full back dive, run the ball, conservative offense, can't stretch the field. And then he adjusted, and now we've seen that all come to fruition.
Yeah.
Fruition. I think that's a word. I know it is. I don't know how to pronounce it, but y'all know what I'm saying. So, yeah, 11-0. Didn't think I'd see this. But here we are.
This is rivalry week in college football, so we will be talking about the entire week, obviously, including the games that already happened. There was a couple on Thanksgiving, a couple today as well, and on Friday as we are recording this Friday night. So we will talk about that, but obviously the main focus will be this game between these two great college football teams, and I am so excited. It is now
the day
12:01 Eastern Time on Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for the game.
Big business.
It's time for the game. Here we go. So let's build up the hype for that a little bit, and let's go a little different direction for a second. Let's start with the Florida State-Florida game. 45-38, 9-3 Florida State drops Florida to 6-6. Florida's 1-3 on the road. And wow. After Florida was pretty highly ranked, weren't they, to start the year? They've completely fallen off a cliff. That is insane. I gotta look at this game a little bit deeper. Anthony Richardson, 9 completions against Florida State. This man was once a pretty heavy Heisman candidate. 9 completions, 9 for 27.
That is abysmal.
And he still had 3 touchdowns and 198 yards on 9 completions. How? Look at that. Trevor, is that Etienne's little brother?
That's what I was just about to say. Is that Etienne's little bro?
Damn. 17 for 129 on a touchdown. Montrell Johnson, 17 for 85 on a touchdown. And Anthony Richardson puts in 41 yards on the ground. Look at these receivers.
What a high-scoring game.
Look at these receivers. 5 receptions, 148 yards, 2 touchdowns, averaging 29.6. Jonathan Odom, 3 receptions, 39 yards, and a touchdown. And then 1-11 for Dante Sanders. Wow. What a crazy offensive day. Florida just barely gets beat out by Florida State. And I guess Florida State fans storm the field after this one. And if that is true, come on, guys. They were 6-5 before this game. You dropped them to 6-6 on the year. There is no reason you should be storming your field after that win. No reason.
No reason for that
whatsoever.
To be justified.
We do need to look at Jordan Travis, and he didn't even play good either. 13 for 30. 13 for 30. 270 yards. 1 touchdown. He averaged 9 yards of completion. How did he still get 200? That's crazy. Trey Benson, running back. 20 carries, 111 yards. 3 touchdowns. Jordan Travis on the ground, 15 for 83 and 2 touchdowns. 5 touchdowns on the ground, 1 through the air. Their leading receiver only had 2 receptions, and it was a running back for 51 yards. Trey Benson. Johnny Wilson, 2 for 46. Malik McClan, 1 for 44. Cameron McDonald, 2 for 44. What a weird offensive day for both.
It's kind of wild to think how they even got to that many points.
Right. With such a lackluster offensive day. But nonetheless, good win for Florida State. They improve and,
What's their record? Like 6 wins?
Florida is 6-6 and Florida State's 9-3.
Oh.
So Florida State's actually middle of the pack. They are ranked 16th right now.
I see that.
Let's look at NC State, North Carolina. NC State pulled off the upset in double OT. What a game. NC State improved to 8-4, dropping North Carolina, who is ranked 17, down to 9-3. Let's talk about the North Carolina Tar Heels first. Drake May, Heisman candidate, coming into this one, needs a big game, needs a big win. He has a day, I would say. Not bad. Not Heisman worthy though, for sure. 29-49 for Drake May. 233. Averages 4.8 completion. 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Not bad. Not the worst. You don't get the win, so that's huge. You'll definitely drop. Elijah Green, he gets 24 carries. Really only musters 83 yards. That only comes out to 3.5 a carry. His longest of the day was 12 yards. He had 1 touchdown. Drake May carried the ball 14 times for 32 yards and a touchdown. His long of the day was longer of 14 yards. That's pretty sad. North Carolina through the air. And Anton Green, 8 for 67 and a touchdown. Josh Downs, 6 for 51. Bryson Nesbitt, 3 for 32. J.J. Jones, 3 for 31. Let's look at NC State here. They get the victory. They put up 30 points. Let's look what their quarterback does. Ben Finley, 27 of 40, 271, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Much better day.
Solid.
Good, really good day for NC State. They should end the season. They should end the season ranked. So that's really good for them. Michael Allen, 12 for 53. They don't really do much on the ground.
No.
Jordan Houston, 8 for 30. And the only rushing touchdown was Jack Chambers, who had 2 rushes for 2 yards and 1 touchdown. Looking through the air, Devin Carter had a phenomenal day. 6 receptions for 130 and a touchdown. But he's really the only one that does anything. Kevon Ladani had 4 for 27. And then everybody else just kind of had random jumble as they got the ball to a lot of different receivers in this game.
Wow.
3 fumbles in this game, but they only lost 1 of them. 4 fumbles in this game.
4 fumbles, yeah.
Lucky to only lose 1 of them, and they get the close win, 30-27. Let's go. Let's look at. Let's do Texas and Baylor next. Texas 8-4, Baylor 6-6. Another team that I had really high hopes for. They were ranked pretty high to start the year, and they've completely just fallen off a cliff. Pretty crazy to think about. Quinn Ewers is back in full effect. He gets the win. But let's look at Baylor and this offense. Blake Shippen, 18 for 36, 179. That's it. Wow. That's pretty bad. 2 touchdowns and 1 pick. only averages 5 yards of completion, 18 for 36. Yeah, you need a lot more yards in a Big 12 game, especially, than 179. That's some rookie level stuff out there. In the Big
Honestly.
12, yikes. Their running back, nothing going out of 2 of them. Richard Reese, 15 for 54. Quaylen Jones, 14 for 45. Nothing.
Oh my goodness.
Nothing going on the ground. They just get 100 yards with 4 running backs. Terrible through the day for Baylor offense. Josh Cameron, the best receiver, 4 receptions for 48 yards. Jalen Ellis had a 47-yard touchdown reception, and that was it for the day. Quaylen Jones had 6 receptions for 18 yards. Just nothing going.
No production.
Nothing going for this Baylor offense. Let's look how Quinn Ewers looked in the win. 12 out of 16. 194.
You'll see in a second why they didn't really throw it.
Yeah. 194, no touchdowns, no picks. 12 out of 16. Let's look. Bijan Robinson. 29 carries, 179, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
They looked to try to bolster his Heisman candidacy in this one. I don't think he'll be in there, but they tried it with a 29 carry game as he literally carried them to victory. Rashawn Johnson,
second running back.
13 carries, 77 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had a really nice day.
You can live with that.
Yeah, for sure. Especially out of your second running back. Let's look at the receivers. Jatavion Sanders, 2 for 65. Xavier Worthy, 7 for 62. Still should have came to Michigan. Jordan Whittington, 2 for 48. Keelan Robinson, 1 for 19. Texas has 2 fumbles as a team. That's pretty costly. And they still pick up the win. Good win for Texas in that one. And they should definitely get a good bowl game at this point. Tulane beats ranked Cincinnati. They had like a 36 game home win streak or something like that. They said that was snapped in the loss. They had a long streak snapped. 27-24, 19 ranked Tulane beats 24 ranked Cincinnati. Let's look at Cincinnati first. Evan Prater, only 10 completions out of 26, 102 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick. Terrible. Ryan Montgomery had a really nice day on the ground. 17 for 95 and 2 scores. Evan Prater did have a really nice day rushing. 18 for 83. And then Charles McClelland also had 8 for 57 and a touchdown. Will Pauling, 2 for 41. Jadon Thompson, 5 for 27. And a couple guys had 1 catch for a couple yards. But, I mean, look at that. Just easily you can tell they put up points, but they just didn't get the yard out of their quarterback that they needed to win this game.
Looks like they really just kept it on the ground.
Yeah.
When you have 43 carries, I mean, you're way more or less just running the ball with only 26 attempts passing.
I think they just didn't have faith in their quarterback, and he couldn't get him down the field when it mattered most. So
kind of hard to when your quarterback's only averaging 4 yards a throw.
For sure.
That's not good.
Yeah. Let's look at Michael Pratt here. He goes 13 for 22, a little bit better with 162, 1 touchdown, no picks. Solid. We'll take it. Tajay Spears, 35 for 181 and 2 scores. What a day. What a day. Michael Pratt put in 9 for 30. Lawrence Kens put in for 2 for 14. Looking at the receivers, Shea Wyatt, 3 for 62. Lawrence Keys, 5 for 55. Deuce Watts had the 1 reception for 30 yards and a touchdown. And Tulane picks up the big win.
Big win. Big win for them. Says they're going to the AAC championship.
Oh, yeah. Now we got UCLA versus Cal. This was a tightly contested rivalry game. This was the last one on the calendar for both these teams. So this really historic rivalry might come to an end. I think they said it was played since 1933. I was watching after I got my haircut, and this was the last matchup scheduled with UCLA potentially going to the Big Ten.
I mean, yeah, that's a big interstate, rivalry.
Yep. This one, UCLA comes away with the win, 35-28. Drops Cal to 4-8 on the season. Improves UCLA to 9-3. They are ranked 18th in the country. Let's look at Cal first. Jack Plummer, really good day. Great day. 24-34, 294, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Great day. He literally did almost enough to win this game for his team.
Honestly.
He really didn't get any type of running game behind him. Jaden Ott, 13 for 55. DeCarlos Brooks, 2 for 9. Nothing. Jeremiah Hunter, 8 for 153 and 2 touchdowns. JaMichael Stevant, 5 for 70 and a touchdown. And Ott got 8 for 51 and a touchdown. Just a great day for that Cal offense in a very contested, very close game. Dorian Thompson-Robinson showed he had a decent day. He was 21 of 30, but only 189, 1 touchdown, no picks. Game managed it, did what he needed to. Zach Charbonnet, UCLA's leading rusher, 24 carries, 119 yards, and a touchdown. TJ Harden put in 12 for 89. Dorian Thompson-Robinson added 14 carries for 88 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Oh my gosh.
Of his own.
Look how many. Wow, look at that rushing attack.
Yeah. Incredible.
Oh my goodness.
4 people with over 10 carries in this UCLA rushing
64
attack.
Carries as a team.
Yeah, that's just how you
How do you even get that many plays?
Right.
And then you still attempt to throw at 30. You ran 94 plays.
Yeah, that's insane.
Wow.
Talk about some offense.
Man.
Let's look at these UCLA receivers. Jake Bobo, the really sure-handed tight end, 7 for 62 in a score. Titus Mokio, Atamala, 2 for 39. Zach Charbonnet added 4 for 22. And UCLA picks up a big win to try to improve. I think we got all the games. Mississippi State took on 20 Ole Miss. Mississippi State wins in a thriller 24-22 in this game. Let's look at Ole Miss in the loss. Jackson Dart 30 for 30. Jackson Dart 30 for 38. 250. 2 touchdowns. No picks. Great game. Great game and loss. Quinshon Judkins even did his thing. 22 for 91. I guess you would like to see a little bit more, but still a real solid day on the ground. Real solid day. Dayton Wade, 8 receptions, 88 yards. Malik Heath, 5 for 80. Jordan Watkins, 8 for 41. Jonathan Mingo, 7 for 40. Looking at Mississippi State as they pick up the win. Will Rogers, in his umpteenth year at Mississippi State, he's been there forever, it feels like. 27 for 39, 239, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Zaquavius Marks, 14 for 76 and a touchdown. Dylan Johnson, 12 for 73. Dylan Johnson was the leading receiver. That's crazy. 8 for 46. Jaden Whaley, 5 for 43. Rufus Harvey, 5 for 43. In the Mississippi State close win. That will do it for the games that already took place for week number 13 in the college football season. But now we have to talk about the 12 noon matchups. And we have to start with the Georgia Tech game.
Yeah.
Georgia 11-0. Georgia Tech 5-6. Come on, Georgia Tech. Play spoiler. ESPN
Yeah.
Index gives Georgia a 98.7% chance to win this game.
I mean, I feel like Georgia's been, with some of their wins, they have been scrapping by. But
I don't think they struggle with Georgia
I don't
Tech.
think. I think they know they need to play their best ball coming to where we're heading into at the end of the season. I don't see no upsets happening here.
No, this is just a open and shut 17-21 point win for Georgia. They get a nice tune-up game to end the year, of course. We will talk about South Carolina Clemson because we have to leave the best noon game for last. So
Yeah, that sounds good.
let's jump over. Let's look at Georgia Tech a little bit. Their offense, what do they average? Like 100.
They're 5-6, and they just got spanked by Clemson. No, they didn't. They got spanked by Clemson earlier in the year. My bad.
Okay, they got spanked by Clemson earlier in the year. They beat North Carolina last week, 21-17.
Yeah. Well, then they lost to the U before that.
Okay. So
35-14.
they're a little up and down, but could they take it to Georgia here, Kurt? Could they take it to Georgia here? What do you think?
You know what? I'll say they take it to half within 7.
And then Georgia comes out and puts their.
Yeah, I think they'll probably make some adjustments second half. I mean, Kirby Smart's that dude's on one. That dude's crazy.
Yeah.
That dude's crazy.
He's an incredible coach.
Yes, he is. I think they'll keep it. Maybe they'll keep it within a score, and then second half, I feel like they'll just make some adjustments. And I mean, Stetson Bennett's at like what, 26? That dude's so old. He should know. You should know this game like the back of his hand.
I swear. Yeah, Georgia definitely bought a lot for me as well. And let's jump over to what really could be a really good matchup. Clemson versus South Carolina. Clemson has climbed up to 7-4 on the season. Spencer Rattler over there. They just beat the absolute everything out of Tennessee, 63-38. So they got a lot of confidence after they got spanked by Florida. They've had a really up and down season. They lose to Georgia by 40. They come back. They beat Kentucky by 10. They beat Texas A&M by a touchdown. They lose to Missouri by 13 points. They lose to Florida by 30. And they come out and they spank Tennessee. So now, what can Spencer Rattler and this team do at home? Or no, they're on the road.
Like they'll either win this game or they'll get spanked.
Right. It's either a really close win or they get absolutely spanked. I don't see this being either way. What do you think, Kurt? What do you sign for? You sign towards the Clemson? They are favored 89%. ESPN favors Clemson in this matchup this week. Clemson is favored by 14.5 points.
I'm taking Clemson with the 14. I like it to be 27-41 Clemson.
That's pretty fair. Yeah, I would say like a 35-21, maybe something around there. Which if South Carolina hangs in it, stays tough, but
I think they'll score.
Yeah.
I think they'll definitely score some points. I don't think they're gonna get like blown out.
Yeah, but I just think Clemson's offense is just a little bit too good for that South Carolina team that's still rebuilding.
Yeah.
So yeah, give me Clemson.
But hey, who knows? They just spanked Tennessee, so
Right. They're definitely coming in on a high note. So hopefully they come in and just beat Clemson because
it'll be tough though to win at Clemson.
Yeah.
They're very. I think they've been like undefeated at home for quite some time. Not just one season, but like a couple of seasons.
Yeah, they don't lose at home much. All right, Kurt, are you ready for it? You ready to jump into Michigan Ohio State? Let's go. Here we go. Just past midnight here. Let's go, Kurt. Here we go.
What's in the past is in the past. It's time to go do it again. We've been waiting all year. I've been waiting a whole year to finally come back and do it again.
I need all you Ohio State fans to quit being hypocrites and quit bringing up that picture with the last 10 games of Ohio State all winning, because you told me my entire life to quit living in the past.
Yeah.
That's what I've been told as a Michigan fan my entire life. Quit living in the past. And look at you guys now.
You want to know something? They haven't
now.
won it all this whole decade.
Right. Look at you guys now. Clinging to the last 10 years. But let's see what you guys are about tomorrow at noon. Let's go. We're ready. Blake's playing. Everybody's going to play, I feel like. I don't know how healthy, but that's what I think we should start off with, Kurt. If you're asking me right now, and I'll ask you this question too, but if you're asking me right now, I think everybody that was injured, besides Nikhil Green, is at least going to try to play.
100%.
Edwards will at least try to play. Blake Corum, even if he's 60%, 50%, I think he's at least trying. I don't know how his knee's going to look. I don't know how he's going to be able to plant and cut. None of that, nobody knows. But I know one thing. These guys have worked so hard to be undefeated to this point and to have a chance to go to Indianapolis again and win another Big Ten championship. I find it hard that if Blake Corum is not on a torn ACL or an MCL, he's playing in this game in some capacity. At least being used as a decoy, and that is huge for Michigan. So hopefully all those guys play. I'm predicting they at least all see the field and try to go. Where they are at health-wise is a concern, but Ohio State does come into this game banged up as well. Jackson Smith and Jigba has missed most of the season with an injury. Nobody really knows if he's playing. Ohio State does get back Mayan Williams, but Trayvon Henderson, I guess, did get benched in this season for apparently running too east to west, as he did get hurt in this season. But from what I heard, he was running a lot of east to west, and they didn't like that in Columbus, so he did see the bench. As Hayden, the freshman, ran wild last week against Maryland in that really close win.
Big game. Real big game.
Nobody really wanted to talk about it. Everybody wanted to just focus on our close win when we were all banged up. But they go to Maryland, like I said they would, and struggled and only won by basically a field goal. I mean, they got a late touchdown.
I remember after our game versus Maryland, I was like, you guys watch out.
I literally told everybody that. Nobody believed me. The week after, I went back into work, and all the Ohio State fans, none of them believed me.
Nope.
I was out in public. Nobody believed me. And I'm sitting there like, just wait. Maryland's on the come up. Nope, none of them believed me. And look at that. They were up. They should have really only won that game 3 points. Maryland got a touchdown on a lateral play with no time on the clock to make it a little bit, the wider lead. But essentially, Maryland loses by 3 in that game, and they give Ohio State all they can handle for the last week of the season. So that's all you really have to ask for. I mean, I think both teams were just kind of too focused on each other. I think that the injuries obviously hurt both the teams, but how could you not be focused on each other with this matchup looming? Both sitting at 11-0, 3-2 respectively in the country, and this matchup pretty much being your Big Ten championship, because whoever wins this matchup, none of them West teams are even coming close.
No, they're gonna get spanked.
If one of these teams are at full strength, whoever comes out of the West gets smoked. So this is the Big Ten championship.
This is the Big Ten championship game.
Absolutely. And it's been a long time, and I'm so glad that we are back to a point in this rivalry. And I hope that we are not sitting here like it was a fluke, and I hope that we don't just get beat down. I hope that at the very least for the Michigan Wolverines, it's a close game. And
if we lose, I want to see us going down swinging.
I want to see them go down swinging.
Game-losing field goal.
With everything they got. I don't want to see another beatdown. We can't go back to that. We can't let them say, last year was just a fluke. We can't let that happen. We got to stay tough. We really need to win, because that would really set us up. A win really sets us up here for the future, along with this season, because Michigan's a damn good team this year, as well as Ohio State. But a win year, you could be looking at the national champion. To be completely honest, coming out of the game, I truly believe that. I think that both these teams beat TCU. Both these teams could give Georgia a run for their money.
Well, here's the problem. When you really think about it, let's just say the playoffs did start. You're talking about Georgia would play TCU, and I don't see the winner of this matchup getting any higher than 2.
Right.
So if anything, I mean, I don't know. There's so much that still is yet to happen. But does the loser drop? Where are they going to drop to?
Right.
Because you could look at either a potential matchup, or if you have the loser at 4, they're playing Georgia first game.
See, that's what I would. Realistically, what I would like to see happen, especially as this fan, regardless, if this game is if this game at least has 27 points scored, right, and this game's a 7-point game either way, I think that I would like to see Georgia be 1. I'd like to see the winner be 2. I'd like to see. At this point, call it TCU, I guess, at 3, and then I would like to see the loser at 4.
Yeah.
The likely scenario is a 2-loss SEC champion probably trumps one of us, just knowing how the SEC is and how ESPN has been, and I think I might riot if that happens. But I could realistically see a 2-loss LSU SEC champion getting in.
Yeah, but they'll play Georgia though in the SEC championship. Wouldn't they?
Yeah, but that would only give Georgia 1 loss, so they would probably stay in.
You think they'd beat Georgia?
But then I mean, if they don't...
If they do. That's what you're saying,
right,
if they do.
Right.
Oh, yeah, 100% they put in... If there was a 2-loss LSU, or... That's who it would be, right?
Right.
Yeah. If they win the SEC championship and beat Georgia, they're in. 100% they're in. I would definitely expect that.
Which is insane that a 1-loss Big Ten non-champion would get trumped by a...
Because the way they're going to view it is either team didn't have a game to play until this game, which is...
Yeah.
I mean...
They're going to say that LSU would...
Call it how you want, but every game to win, it's still hard to do.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
That's still another team you're playing. That's still preparation. That's still... having to be focused enough to win each and every game.
Every game for 11 weeks straight, coming out, playing your best football, no matter the circumstances.
Injuries, weather.
No matter the circumstances, and getting wins. That should be valued more than winning your conference, in my opinion.
But I don't know. It's hard to see what's going to happen with the way this committee is. With the way some of these rankings already are, it's truly mind-boggling to think the loser of this game, even if it is a dogfight, a 1-point loss, they could be out.
Right.
Which, honestly, in my opinion, is completely wrong because I feel like Michigan or Ohio State would just smoke TCU. And LSU, they could get that work too. I feel like LSU would lose to both teams.
Yeah, LSU isn't really that special to me. I mean, they took a couple early season losses and they've been kind of on a roll lately. But if I go down and look at the LSU Tigers, they sit at 5 right now with 2 losses. One coming to Florida State by 1 point, the other coming by virtue of beatdown to Tennessee.
They lost to Florida State.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty bad loss if you're looking at that. Compared, if we're gonna compare resumes right now, right? You're looking at a non-Big Ten champion with the loss only being to the Big Ten champion, right?
Yep.
You're looking at that compared to an SEC champion, best case scenario, SEC champion LSU's team with 2 losses and one of the losses being Florida State.
Call it how you want.
I mean, if that resume to me, even if whoever it is, Ohio State or Michigan, that favors that team to me.
I mean, because look at it, they lost to Florida State week 1. Then when they played Tennessee, they got creamed.
They played somebody actually near their skill level, and they got creamed. I mean, they beat a bad Auburn team by 4 points. They beat Alabama, so that's a really good win. Ole Miss was ranked 7, but they're not anything. They barely beat Mississippi State, so how much can you really value that? But of course, it's just going to be, the schedule's going to be amped up because they love the SEC. It's sad, man. It sucks. Because it's like, this is the year that both teams, I truly, firmly believe that both teams deserve a shot.
Michigan and Ohio State are both top 4 teams.
I firmly
in all reality,
I firmly believe that.
I'm not sure, who you put at 4. There's so many arguments for what team, but I feel like those are the top 4 teams.
Yeah.
It's Michigan, Ohio State, and Georgia. I don't know who you put at 4, but yeah, that's a shame. That's a real shame.
I agree. It'll be crazy how it plays out, but we can't control any of that. All we can do is control it tomorrow and all Michigan can do is go into Columbus and play the absolute best football they can play in hopes to beat the Buckeyes. Ohio State is favored by 8 as we are going to kind of wrap this up. Not really much more to talk about. I mean, if you look at both sides, this is the key to me. I mean, if you're an Ohio State fan, your key is a big game for C.J. Stroud and this offense. To me, I mean, your defense looked improved, but there's definitely still cracks in there.
There's
like
leaks.
I figured there
There's
would be.
leaks.
Like I figured, I tried to tell everybody, they wouldn't be Jim Knowles wouldn't just be your iron shield that everybody thought. There's definitely some leaks in that defense, and they were showing a little bit. So you gotta kind of hope for a really big game out of C.J. Stroud in that offense. Who knows if you get Smith and Jigba? I mean, you have Marvin Harrison, who
I think it's very doubtful he plays tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to play tomorrow.
I haven't heard anything really about him, so that really scared me.
Big loss.
I would like to see him play because I want to see the Buckeyes at full strength, but an unfortunate injury nonetheless. Marvin Harrison is still one of the best receivers in college football already.
That
And
dude's ridiculous.
he is going to be a matchup nightmare for the Wolverines. That's a huge storyline for Ohio State. How can C.J. Stroud connect with Harrison Jr. and make, Michigan lives a living nightmare? And for Michigan, it's tail of tape is obviously the run game. The tail of tape is J.J. McCarthy and the receivers, man. How can J.J. hit the receivers? When he hits the receivers, can they catch the damn ball? I mean, there's a lot of rumors with Andrew Anthony now being very unhappy with the program and seeking a transfer, I've heard, which is very
the last
unfortunate.
thing we need right now.
But nonetheless, these sure-handed guys like Ronnie Bell and every receiver we have on this roster, whoever can come up and make big plays, they need to play in this
We need
game.
Ronnie Bell big tomorrow.
Yep.
He's the only one that I feel comfortable
Super
with,
confident.
to be honest with you.
Making the catch, yep.
I think for me, to summarize this and honestly just simplify it, the biggest key is the run game. If we don't got a run game tomorrow, we're in trouble. We are in trouble.
Especially with how the pass game looked. Cause then you're relying on an inconsistent at best, JJ. That's what he's been. Inconsistent at best.
Yep.
So you're relying on that against Ohio State at home.
Will Ohio State have a better showing than last year as far as, stopping the run and playing physical?
You have to assume, but
That's
who knows,
yet to be seen.
right?
I think that's the biggest key. If they stop a run game, we're in trouble, but if they don't, they're losing.
Yep. If Blake
To be quite frankly honest with you,
if Blake Corum is at least above 50% and we're able to establish the run,
we can
I think
keep
that's
things within third and manageable, fourth and shorts. We will win this.
Yep.
But if we get to the second and longs, third and longs, and we're forced to throw it constantly, it's not going to go good. That plays right into their hand.
Yep. They're going to want to force us on third and long so they can get pressure on JJ and try to make the young QB make mistakes.
A couple bad throws here or there. He's going to have to play clean. I think he probably throws a pick tomorrow, though, to be honest with you.
I would
say at least one.
I would expect one.
I'm going to expect one.
I would expect one. But you gotta play for that defense. You gotta come prepared, come ready for anything, and just play your best
One
ball,
play at a
guys.
time.
One game at a time, one play at a time. And we took it one game at a time, and now we're here with the chance to go to the Big Ten Championship for the second straight year. And let's go. Let's beat the Buckeyes once again.
Let's give a final prediction here.
If I'm
Gut
looking
feeling
at
right
it,
now. Gut feeling.
right
If
now.
you're betting $100 in this game, win or loss, who's winning it?
12:40 at night, knowing what I know right now, I am going to go with a 24-17 Michigan. No, 24-20 Michigan win. I think that the tail of this tape is Michigan's defense is able to keep it low scoring than everybody kind of thinks. Because I know what you're thinking, high scoring for Ohio State. I think that if Michigan wins this game, it's because they were able to run the ball.
If they allow 30 plus, we're done.
Right.
We cannot win if they score 30 plus.
I like 24-17. I like them to control the clock. I think Blake Corum, if I had to guess, I think he's sitting at about 70%. That's my gut feeling right now. My gut feeling is 60 to 70% health. So, if we get that, I think that's good enough. And if we get the blocking and we have Donovan Edwards and he's at least at 50 or 60% too, both those guys could be enough to get it done, I think, with a good JJ and a good receiving corps around him. So let us pray, Michigan fans, that everybody comes in to this game healthy. And I just hope for both sides a healthy and a great game. As let's show everybody around the world why we are the best rivalry in all the sports.
Easily the best rivalry.
No dumb shit, Ohio State fans. Come on, show some at least class when the Michigan fans come into your stadium. Like, I'm sorry, but we just hear a lot more about Ohio State fans and just doing that kind of nasty stuff, you know, when we are the visitor compared to when Ohio State comes to town. It's just what I hear, you know. So, come on, guys, be classy. Let's enjoy the game for what it is. Enjoy the rivalry for what it is.
It's just a football game.
Yep.
There's no need to be inhumane with these things.
Absolutely.
Breaking people's windows just because their license plate says Michigan. Come on now.
Some banter, some shit talk. That's all in good fun. We like that. We love that shit. But nothing more than that, man. Come on, let's go. But enjoy the game. Enjoy the weekend. Stay safe. Be responsible. Whatever you're going to do. And we are ready here. We are ready.
For me, I'm going to give a quick prediction. 28-27 Michigan. Game-winning field goal.
So you think we are down?
No. Actually, we're going to have the lead. 28-27. Yeah, it's going to be sweaty. It's going to be gut-wrenching.
Okay, I said 24-20. Give me 24-21 because I think Michigan that's tied at 21, and JJ has to drive one last drive, and he gets him into position. And Money Moody, once again,
we're going to need some Money Moody tomorrow.
Back-to-back weeks, Money Moody, game winner to win it. I think that's
going to be close.
That's how it's going to happen. 24-21, Jake Moody from 42 yards out.
I like it.
Wins it in Columbus. Let's go. But let's venture away. We are already 43 minutes into this podcast. Great in-depth look into the Michigan-Ohio State game, as we should, as proper fans of this historic rivalry. But let's continue into this rivalry week in college football. A really just exciting week. It makes for a really good game of college football, but just how we are as fans, it's hard to watch football after, especially if we lose this game, it's hard to watch any football after this one, but there really is some really good football going on.
For sure.
Let's look at the first 3 o'clock matchup of the day. 25, Louisville, unranked Kentucky, 6-5, Louisville 7-4. Winner of this game stays ranked. Both teams bowl eligible. Kentucky's favored by 3.
It's a pick'em.
It's a pick'em.
That's a pick'em.
It's a pick'em.
Kroger Field, Lexington, Kentucky. Kroger Field.
On Kroger Field. What are you thinking, Kurt? Who wins it?
I like big Kentucky to come out with the win.
Kentucky.
I'm feeling Kentucky with the win.
Wins it. Knocks off Louisville.
They're going to take that 25 spot.
Well, Louisville is favored to win 56% to 41. Cunningham looks like he's done. He's got 1,500 yards, 8 touchdowns. What happened there? I wonder. Why does he only have... What's going on with Louisville? Let's get a look. Let's get a little deeper. Get a little... Yeah, I think that... So they played a couple different quarterbacks this season. With Malik Cunningham throwing 212 passes. Brock Diamond throwing 100 passes for 700 yards. Wow. Malik Cunningham leads the team in rushes, almost having more carries than their running back. 109 carries, 561, Malik Cunningham. Jahar Jordan, the running back, 111 carries, 555 yards. Tylon Evans, 83 carries, 525 yards. Wow. Louisville. That's crazy. It's a pick'em, Kurt. Where we going with it? Kentucky? Going with Kentucky?
I like Kentucky in the barn burner close game. 31-30.
31-30. You know what? I'll take a 28-21, and I'm gonna go Willows in Kentucky too. Yep, I'll go Kentucky as well. with the upset. Auburn, Alabama.
Woo!
The Iron Bowl in Tuscaloosa this year. Alabama, this game doesn't mean as much as they're not in the title hunt. But, Saban's going to really want this win. Especially over a 5-6 Auburn team that has fired their head coach. Waiting on the supposed hire of Ole Miss coach Lane Kiffin, which has been in the rumor mill as of late. Auburn needs this game to become bowl eligible with losses. A bad loss against Penn State, close loss against LSU, bad loss against Georgia, Ole Miss, and Arkansas, with a close loss against Mississippi State. They won 2 in a row, close against Texas A&M, a beatdown against Western Kentucky, and now they need the win to become bowl eligible over the Alabama Crimson Tide. We talked about them. Their loss is coming to LSU and Tennessee. 1-point loss to LSU, 3-point loss to Alabama. Uncharacteristic 2 losses in the column before we even hit bowl season. Crazy for Alabama. But gonna be interesting. Georgia LSU SEC championship. Finally no Alabama in that one. And
that's a first.
Kurt, this matchup, do you think it's close? I mean,
no, Auburn's not a very good team this year.
Yeah, Auburn is not very good.
I feel like Bryce Young's probably gonna have a. This is one of his final games before he declares for the draft. I think he'll have a big one.
Ashford's only got 6 touchdowns on the year.
Who?
The Auburn quarterback, Ashford. 112 of 227, 1536, 6 touchdowns, 7 picks.
That is awful.
Bryce Young, 210 for 329, 2664, 24 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Incredible. Bigsby for Alabama has 900 yards on 164 carries and 10 touchdowns. Gibbs for Alabama had 119 carries, 774 yards, 6 touchdowns. Johnson, star receiver for Auburn, 25 receptions, 473, 2 touchdowns. Brooks for Alabama, 33 receptions, 547, 6 touchdowns. Just to beat down Kurt.
I like Alabama to win this 31-10.
31-10.
I'll take 31-10.
Saban takes out some of his anger on the Auburn Tigers this year, you think? Yeah, I think I'm going to go with I like a 31-17. Big win for...
Shoot, even that might be too close.
Yeah, even that's a little close. Moving on down the list, we got...
Oregon
State. It's in Oregon State. I think that's in... No, that's in Oregon. I don't know whose stadium that is actually. I thought
it's at Oregon State.
Okay, I thought Oregon State was Beaver Stadium, but okay. So Oregon's favored by 3 in this matchup, 9-2. Oregon State comes in 8-3. Bo Nix for Oregon has had an incredible year after struggling for so long at Auburn. He's just found his stride. He just needed a little bit less competition in the SEC, but he has really found his stride playing against the Pac-12. 244 out of 337, 3,000 yards, 25 touchdowns, 6 picks. Branson for Oregon State, 103 completions out of 163, 1,230 yards, 8 touchdowns, 3 picks. Irving for Oregon, 129 carries, 851, 3 touchdowns. Oregon State's Martinez, 143 for 867 and 7 touchdowns. Franklin for Oregon, 48 for 789 and 7 touchdowns. And Harrison for Oregon State, 50 receptions, 589 and 4 touchdowns. Kurt, who do you like in this matchup?
Oregon State, has actually really played some of their ranked opponents really tough. They lost a very close game at the beginning of the year to USC by 3 or 4.
Both teams lost to Washington by 3 points.
Yeah. And Oregon, even with them, with some of their wins, some of those wins have been real close. I think this would be a really close, good ball game.
Yes, for sure.
I like Oregon to win. Probably with some high scoring. Honestly, I like 30-27 Oregon with a close, really good ball game.
Yeah, you kind of hit it right where I was thinking. I was going to go 33-30, really high-scoring matchup, high-powered offenses. Bo Nix going to show what he's got to the scouts as he prepares to most likely enter the NFL draft.
Ooh.
And, yeah, I like Oregon, 33-30.
Iowa State
TCU.
At number 4, TCU.
Come on, Matt Campbell. Get a big win here, Matt Campbell. 4-7. He's looking real rough over there in Iowa State this year. But,
and to think some fans wanted him a few years ago.
Right. When we were all panicking about Harbaugh, some fans wanted Matt Campbell in as our head coach. But Matt Campbell, 4-7 over at Iowa State this season, looking to knock off unbeaten TCU and get them out of the way for us. Please.
Please with sugar on top.
That'd be so nice. That'd be so great. But I think we're gonna have to pray for TCU to lose in the Big 12 championship game. I think this is a beatdown for TCU, not even close.
Really? I think TCU is just gonna barely scrap by with a win.
Wow.
Like last week.
Okay.
You know, when they kicked that game-winning field goal as the clock was ticking.
Yeah.
I think TCU continues the undefeated streak with a close win versus Iowa State. Oh, boy.
Yeah. I mean, Max Duggan, 204 for 308, 28-58, 26 touchdowns, 3 picks. He definitely should be up there in the Heisman conversation. Deckers for Iowa State, 290 for 443, 29-38, 18 touchdowns, 13 picks. Gotta get those pick numbers down. But Brock for Iowa State running back, 99 carries, 445, 3 touchdowns. Miller for TCU, 184 carries, 1,188 yards, and 14 touchdowns. That's really damn good. That's really, really good.
Yeah, it is.
Hutchinson, the Iowa State receiver, 105 receptions, 160 yards, and 6 touchdowns. And Johnson for TCU, 49 receptions, 764, and 5 touchdowns. And I predict a TCU win by, maybe not beat down, but 2 scores. I like 2 scores. Michigan State, Penn State. 11 Penn State, 9-2. Looks to stop Michigan State from getting bowl eligible, as Michigan State needs this road win to become bowl eligible.
Oh, man.
7 players from their team were charged with felonies from the incident that took place in Ann Arbor a few weeks ago. So who knows what the team is feeling, in and outside of the locker room. Who knows how mentally checked in, checked out those guys are. This could be interesting. Penn State is favored by 19 points, and they could cover because I like them by like 21 points in this game.
Yeah. I feel like Penn State arguably should be ranked top 10, but
it's close.
With 2 losses, they're not up there. I think with everything going on and maybe they'll be low on focus, I think Michigan State's probably not going to look too good in this game. Penn State's been a real solid team this year. They hung in right to the very end against Ohio State until those 2 turnovers happened. I mean, we smoked them. But, I mean, they got some... Outside of that, they played some pretty decent games. And I think they get a pretty convincing win over Michigan State, which could put them in the top 10.
Yeah, I like Penn State to cover, win by like 21, maybe like a 42-28 wouldn't get it done. So maybe like a 42-24 type game.
Shoot, I don't even think Michigan State scores that much.
32-17.
I think it's probably something more like 30-10.
Fair. Very fair.
I don't think they have that kind of offense to put up 40 with that. Clifford, he's a statue.
Right.
That dude can't move.
Yeah, Thorne and Clifford, as we compare the both of them, 218 out of 344, 2450 for Thorne, 18 touchdowns, 10 picks. Clifford, 191 out of 306, 2341, so just a little less. Same number of touchdowns at 18, and he's been a little bit more careful with the ball with 7 interceptions, but he had a little less passes thrown, so there's that. Berger for Michigan State, 141 carries, 669 yards, 6 touchdowns. Singleton for Penn State, 132 carries, 863 yards, 10 touchdowns. Coleman, Michigan State, 50 receptions, 707 yards, 7 touchdowns. Washington for Penn State, 46 receptions, 611 yards, 2 touchdowns. Easy, nice, quick, clean win for Penn State in this one. And moving on down the list, we have another one of those games, in my opinion, as Utah takes on Colorado. 1-win Colorado, Pac-12 matchup. This is just a open and shut game for me. Easy 17-point win at least.
Utes big win.
Yeah.
Utah Utes big win.
Rising's got 202 out of 311, 2395, 19 touchdowns, 7 picks. Colorado's quarterbacks only completed 90 completions on the year, 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Yikes!
Wow.
I can definitely see why they're 1-10. Thomas for Utah, 142 carries, 687 yards, 7 touchdowns. Smith for Colorado, 81 carries, 390 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kincaid, Utah, 61 receptions, 748 yards, 7 touchdowns. Tyson for Colorado, 22 receptions, 470 yards, 4 touchdowns. And yeah, just a very convincing, easy win for Utah in this one.
Then the next one is LSU heading to Texas A&M.
Yes, it is, as the 5-ranked Tigers take on the 4-7 A&M Aggies from Kyle Field in College Station. LSU, we could really use you to lose at this point. Just get out of the way now. Stay out of our way of making the playoffs here, as I really don't want to see you guys make it with 2 losses. So hopefully Texas A&M just takes them out with a 3rd. LSU is favored 73% to 26. Daniels for LSU, 217 out of 312, 2377, 15 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. King for A&M, 104 out of 187, 1220, 7 touchdowns, 6 picks. Daniels rushing the ball also leads the team, 162 carries, 740 yards, 11 touchdowns. Wow. Akane for A&M, 158 carries, 887 yards, 6 touchdowns. Neighbors, LSU receiver, 51 receptions, 657 yards, 1 touchdown. Stewart, A&M receiver, 49 receptions, 607 yards, 2 touchdowns. Carl, how you feeling about this matchup? LSU is favored 73 to 26%.
Texas A&M isn't as bad as what the record looks.
Right.
They've lost a lot of close games. They lost to number 15 Ole Miss at the time, 31-28. They lost Alabama 24-20.
South Carolina by a touchdown. Auburn by a field goal.
I think this is really going to be a close game.
Yeah. This had all the makings to be a trap game for LSU.
Absolutely.
Which is perfect. Come on, A&M.
I'm gonna say LSU 21-20. I think LSU gets a real close, scrappy win here.
I'm speaking it into existence. I spoke the Michigan win into existence earlier. And I'm speaking a Texas A&M 21-17 defensive stand to win the game.
I hope. I hope you're right.
For the upset. To eliminate LSU from anywhere near the playoffs.
Yeah, I would hope so. Florida game. Central Florida.
UCF versus South Florida. 8-3 UCF, 1-10 South Florida. This is just a open and closed win, as the 22 ranked Knights should pummel the South Florida Bulls.
Yeah, they're gonna pummel them.
UCF's quarterback, 167 out of 264, 21-22, 12 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Bohannon for USF, 91 out of 160, 1,070 yards, 6 touchdowns, 6 picks. The quarterback for UCF also leads the team in rushing, 128 carries, 715 yards, 9 touchdowns. Battle for USF, 157 carries, 1,042 yards, 7 touchdowns.
Sheesh.
Baker receiving the ball at UCF, 47 receptions, 659, 5 touchdowns. Weaver, USF, 53 receptions, 718 yards, 6 touchdowns. Big, not even really that close win.
No.
For the Knights.
Ooh, this is another big game.
Another matchup for all of the Michigan/Ohio State fans to keep track of tomorrow night, depending on how the game goes, as Notre Dame will travel to the Coliseum to take on the one-loss Trojans in hopes to spoil any chance of the playoffs for USC in year one of Lincoln Riley's tenure. This is a big game. Notre Dame trying to prove they're not, a slouch, taking a couple losses, head scratchers, close games, everything in between for Notre Dame. USC is favored 65-34.
Yeah, for them to win, just from what I've seen, they're going to need their defense to step up big time tomorrow. It's Caleb Williams and that USC offense is no joke.
Yeah.
They will put up points.
Caleb Williams, 250 out of 385, 3,480 yards, 33 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. I don't know how he is not more in the conversation.
I was just about to say, I'm surprised you're not hearing more of him.
Right. I gotta go back and look at Stroud's numbers because I don't think he's looking that good. I'm gonna go back and look after we finish this game. Pine for Notre Dame, 141 out of 228, 1703, 19 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Astime for Notre Dame, 136 carries, 782 yards, 11 touchdowns. Dye for USC, 145 carries, 884 yards, 9 touchdowns.
I think he's out though.
Is he? That'd be huge.
I think I saw something. I think I saw him honestly getting carted off last week.
Oh, yeah.
I think he suffered something serious.
I think I remember hearing about that. Damn, that's crazy. That's a big loss for them then, because he was looking really impactful. Mayer for the Irish, 59 receptions, 711 yards, 7 touchdowns. Jordan Addison for USC, 51 receptions, 765 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Very similar teams. Obviously not on the quarterback level, but running the ball pretty similar. Best receivers are pretty similar.
It's just hard for me to see Notre Dame keeping up with USC's offense. Unless their defense can play, they're gonna need to play some good defense tomorrow. Honestly, I like USC 27-20.
27.
I like a one-score game, but even then, if you hold USC to 27 or 20-ish, I think that is good enough. But outside of that Ohio State game, I haven't seen a whole lot of Notre Dame. I don't know if it's still this. I don't even think it's the same quarterback as that first game. But their offense just didn't look too good. But that was way back then.
Right.
But it's just kind of hard to see with who they play because Notre Dame's not in a conference. They played Clemson. They smoked them for what that is. Syracuse. They smoked them. And they smoked Yale.
So
No, they didn't even smoke Yale. They beat them 28-20.
Close game.
Yeah.
Stroud, looking at him, he has 204 of 307, 29.91, 35-4. So he is very comparable to Caleb Williams.
Yeah, he's got more touchdowns.
These matchups are going to be insane.
Yeah, tomorrow it's with rivalry week. A lot of these things are thrown out the window.
Yeah. Stats really don't even matter, but I'm just reading them all so we know what we're looking for.
What you picking Notre Dame then? What are you feeling?
I'm gonna ride with USC. I don't think Notre Dame can get it done.
I don't think so either.
They'd have to prove me wrong, but I'm gonna take a 24-13 USC win. Tennessee Vanderbilt closing out the night, 7:30 SEC Network game. This game to me is just without Hendon Hooker, he's done for the year for Tennessee. So they're down to their backup. Does that did that make you pick Vanderbilt, Kurt? What do you think?
I don't think so. Vanderbilt is they haven't been a very good team. And they actually just finally got their first SEC win in a very long time a few weeks ago. Even with Tennessee just getting trounced last week, maybe there'll be an upset alert. I still feel like Tennessee is just the overall better team here.
Yeah, I mean, Hooker's out. His stat line for the year will finish as 229 and 329, 31-35, 27 touchdowns, 2 picks. He had a really great year.
Really good year.
Swan for Vanderbilt, 104 out of 181, 11.95, 10 touchdowns, 2 picks. That's not bad. 10 touchdowns, 2 picks. That's a good ratio, but Wright for Tennessee, 130 carries, 626 yards, 8 touchdowns. Davis for Vanderbilt, 211 carries, 982 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Hyatt for Tennessee, 64 receptions, 1181 yards, 15 touchdowns. Shepard for Vanderbilt, 54 receptions, 728 yards, 9 touchdowns. Kurt, where are you going in this game?
I just feel like Vanderbilt's not going to be able to put up enough points here with Tennessee.
Even with their backup in?
No. I feel like even with a backup quarterback coming in, you can still at least get a B performance and still win this game.
Tennessee is favored by 14.
That's what I'm saying. I think they'll probably win 28-7. I like 28-7. 3 scores.
That's pretty fair. I think I would go something like that, like 24-7, 24-10. Moving on. 8 o'clock game on Fox. Kansas, 6-5. Kansas State, number 12 ranked, 8-3. What do we got, Kurt? What are we thinking?
Man, I don't know. I like Kansas State's quarterback a lot. I ain't gonna lie. What's his name? I think he transferred.
Adrian Martinez. He's from Nebraska.
Whoa, what's going on? Did he get hurt? They bench him?
Why? What do you see?
Well, I see this other quarterback that has very similar-esque numbers.
Oh, yeah, he must have got... I think he has been hurt a little bit.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, because there ain't no way.
I don't think he would have got benched.
No, there's no way. He definitely got hurt then. Well, damn. It says he played 2 weeks ago against Baylor. And he must have got hurt against Baylor then. Because it's not showing anything for him after that.
They take out West Virginia last week, 48-31. Yeah, as Howard played for KSU, and he played very well. Howard played in the West Virginia.
He's got 11 touchdowns, 2 interception ratio. You can live with that.
Howard played in the... Yeah, okay. Adrian only had 7 of 8 passes, and then Will Howard took over in this Baylor game. So Howard did get injured in the Baylor game, and Howard looks to most likely finish out the season.
Yes.
But he definitely doesn't look the worst. So Kansas State should be looking forward to the future, as I think Adrian Martinez is finally time to leave college.
Honestly.
He's been there forever. They got Deuce Vaughn, who's got 1,100 yards on 220 attempts and 6 touchdowns.
8-3, second in the Big 12. We're looking at probably a higher scoring game here. Honestly, I think that backup quarterback, honestly, I don't know the number. Sometimes numbers can lie, but it looks like he's playing pretty solid.
Yeah, he definitely
I'll go with Kent State here.
Yeah, I like.
It's just it's hard for some of these other teams to go on the road at night and get a big. It's hard.
Right.
It's real hard.
Right. I agree. I'll take Kansas State by 10.
Yeah, I like 37, probably like 14.
Last matchup of the night.
Final. Wow, 10:30 at night.
Oof.
There's a game that starts at 11.
Michael Penix and Washington taking on the Washington State Cougars, who's at 7-4. Penix Jr. is 305 for a 457, 38-69, 26 touchdowns, 6 picks. What a great year for Michael Penix. Ward for Washington State, 265 for 413, 27-72, 21 touchdowns, 8 picks. So a really good year for him, for sure. Tulupaba for Washington, 113 carries, 653 yards, 9 touchdowns. Watson for Washington State, 115 carries, 663 yards, 7 touchdowns. O'Dungy for Washington, 65 receptions, 931 yards, 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, looks like they really like to air it out.
Stribling, 44 receptions, 544 yards, and 5 touchdowns. That is for Washington State's leading receiver. Carl, what do you like in this matchup?
I guess I'm always going with the favorites. It's just kind of like Washington's on the road. You know, they're second and third. Wow, they're third in the Pac-12. They got some nice wins. They took care of Oregon State. I mean, close games. Still their wins. They obviously took care of Michigan State way earlier in the season. Just remember that. That was a night game as well. Honestly, I like Washington to win this game 30-20. I like a 30-20 win for Washington. I mean, Washington State's 7-4. They beat Wisconsin was ranked 19 at the time. Lost a real close game to Oregon 44-41. Wow, what a high scoring that game is.
Right.
Lost to USC 30-14. Lost to Utah 21-17. Now you got another big one coming up.
Oh, yeah.
They're on a 3-game win streak. And I think it ends tomorrow night. Give me Washington 30-20.
Nice. I'll take a 24-13 Washington win as Penix keeps winning for Washington. Would improve them to 10 wins on the season, 10-2, pushing them towards the top 10 in the country.
Yeah, looking at a good bowl game. Probably for them.
Right.
At least a decent one.
Oh, well, yeah, definitely New Year's 6. So that's big steps in the right direction for Washington.
Absolutely. I think that's the final ranked game.
Yeah, that'll do it for the college football week that we were going to talk about. I'm going to throw in just a little bit of hockey. Michigan, talking about some Big Ten hockey, Michigan comes in and draws with Harvard on their first game of 2 series, because how they do it in college is they do a overtime, and then after the overtime they do a shootout, but it doesn't count. Well, Michigan won the shootout, but they don't count it. They just count it as a draw. Once the overtime period ends, yeah, it's dumb.
That's kind of...
So, Michigan draws with Harvard 4-4 to kick off their opening series with them for the weekend. Let's see what else happened throughout the Big Ten. Okay, so let's just go from like I don't know, like the 23rd or something. Notre Dame, Boston. I don't know why that game didn't happen. It's not on there. Penn State ends up beating Alaska Fairbanks on Wednesday, November 23rd, 2-1. Notre Dame Boston College once they got canceled because they don't play again. Ohio State was supposed to play Long Island. I don't know why that didn't happen with it. That's weird. These are all the games were supposed to happen yesterday, and it didn't happen. Michigan tied with Harvard 4-4 after overtime. Michigan State gets another win with a big 5-3 win over Miami of Ohio, and Minnesota gets a big 3-2 win over Arizona State. Previewing the weekend, Saturday, after all the football action is over, the Ohio State Buckeyes travel to Long Island University for an 8 o'clock puck drop. Michigan State plays Miami of Ohio at 5 o'clock in Oxford. Michigan plays Harvard again in Ann Arbor, this time at 7 o'clock. And Minnesota will take on Arizona State, 9 p.m. in Arizona. Let's see. Looking at the weekend to come, Ohio State has a big series with Penn State. Michigan State and Minnesota play in what could be a very interesting series for them. Two big. Michigan State's kind of emerged as they're gonna. Yeah, look at that. 1-2. They're 1-2 in the Big Ten standings. 1-2 in the Big Ten standings. Minnesota 6-2. Michigan State 5-2. We're down here at, where are we at? 2-4. That's not right. Is it? 2-4. Oh my God. 2-4.
Wow.
Oh my God. With the overtime loss and a tie. Yeah, 2-4 and oh my God. That's awful. That's awful.
Well,
Michigan's got to get it together for sure, but
I mean, when your whole squad just
the
got
whole
drafted,
squad literally graduated.
your whole squad just got drafted.
Hard to come back from that for sure. But Michigan State, Minnesota definitely going to keep an eye on that one. But
Big implications.
Michigan has a series with almost as equally bad Wisconsin. Michigan is 6, Wisconsin is 7. So hopefully Michigan can assert some dominance over Wisconsin. They are on the road though, so yikes. Yikes.
Yeah, road games are never easy.
Yep. Alright, well, got some Big Ten coverage in. Talked about the big day in college ball for tomorrow. Had about an hour podcast length, hour 22 so far. And, I think that'll do it. We will most likely see you tomorrow night. Stay safe, be responsible. Remember one thing and one thing only. Go blue, baby. Let's go. It's almost that time.
Let's go, Jim.
Let's go, Jim. Let's
go. We need it.
Let's go, Michigan. So much are made of. Let's go beat them in Columbus for the first time in forever.
Less than 12 hours.
Let's go do it, boys. Let's go.
Shock
I believe
the world
in you guys.
again.
Shock them again. Shut them up again. Here we go. Let's go. I'm so excited. Hope you guys are ready. Be responsible. Have fun. Enjoy the games wherever you are watching them. Whatever games you are watching. And from Made On Ridgeway Sports Podcast, we will see you Saturday night.
Here we go.
Go blue.
Go blue.
Peace.